Hello, this is Doug from HomesNOW, Not Later. We have a few updates, and we also need your help as well. Number 1, new residents. About a week ago, we had 3 new residents move in. So far, things seem to be going pretty smoothly. It typically takes a week or 2 for new residents to get acclimated to the environment and the community, such as learning the rules and duties. We have space for letting in new residents, and we intend to let new ones in within a week or 2. The reason why we don't let all new residents in at once is because it kind of destabilizes the overall community for a time, as people have to learn how to get along and get to know one another. This problem doesn't seem to happen, though, when new residents are admitted a few at a time. In January, when we first opened Winter Haven Tent Encampment in the parking lot of City Hall, we had 10 residents, and then we added 10 more in one day. So it ended up being kind of an issue for a few weeks before everything smoothed out. Learning from that, this is going a lot smoother. Everyone seems to be moving in, or seems to be doing okay. The community seems to be doing pretty well. And we invite anyone to come down and check it out. Our current site is at 210 Mackenzie, Bellingham, Washington, 98229. And it's 98225, and it's open to the general public during the day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 8 p.m. I forget, but you can come during the day. We also have some updates to our volunteer, visitor, staff policies and procedures. This week we began writing our policies and procedures document for board members, staff, volunteers, and visitors. These staff policies and procedures are intended to be a written set of guidelines for the smooth, safe, and effective functioning of HomesNOW, Not Later, as an organization. The purpose of HomesNOW is to end homelessness one person at a time. HomesNOW, as an organization, provides safe and stable housing and additional services for homeless individuals. Members of HomesNOW consist of people of various backgrounds, skills, and circumstances who are actively helping people seek permanent housing, as well as alleviate the suffering of those who have yet to receive housing. The HomesNOW policies and procedures document includes general policies for staff, visitors, and volunteers, a code of conduct, and a description of services that HomesNOW provides. The policies and guidelines in this document are reviewed regularly by HomesNOW and are changed as necessary based on input from staff, volunteers, and the general public. Until this point, we have not had a set of rules and policies and procedures up until this point, we have had a set of policies, rules, and procedures for residents of Unity Village, but we did not have a formal document for volunteers, staff, and visitors. We wanted to bring these two in line and basically hold the staff and volunteers to the same standard as what the residents have to do. And what some might ask why we didn't do any of this sooner. Well, up until this point, it didn't seem like it was necessary. We were more focused on the day-to-day operations of what was going on the ground, and writing down all the rules took a back seat. But as soon as something happened, we figured we should write it and cover other areas that we didn't actually encounter as a problem yet. So at first, we wrote sexual harassment policies and financial control policies, but we've added more to this we folded those policies into this document, and we added more as well. And a link to our staff, volunteer, visitor policies and procedures is in the description of this video. HomesNOW encourages the egalitarian model of self-governance and decentralization as a general principle. Using this model makes the job of the staff and volunteers easier and more effective in general, as well as promotes homeless individuals to achieve permanent housing where they will have to self-govern once they find permanent housing. HomesNOW supports the basic idea of promoting the general welfare of the community, especially those who need it most. HomesNOW encourages staff and volunteers to use their own initiative and creativity to engage and solve problems. If you see a way that things can be done better, propose a solution, run an experiment. HomesNOW as an organization also encourages volunteers, staff, and board members to treat homeless individuals as equal and mutual individuals. In many cases, with many organizations, homeless individuals are not treated as equal, mutual people, and the result is increased levels of social dysfunction, criminal activity, etc. When people are treated as mutual individuals who can contribute, they generally will rise to the occasion. If you have any questions or suggestions for policies of HomesNOW, please let us know and we can talk about it. Number 3, HomesNOW at the Homeless Strategies Workgroup. Last Friday, I had a chance to attend the Whatcom County Homeless Strategies Workgroup. The 2 board members of HomesNOW sit on the workgroup, Marcus D. and Nicholas D. Lewis. One of the discussions that comes up commonly in the workgroup is the concept of funding. How to fund emergency shelters, how to fund homeless outreach efforts, how to fund hotel rooms during the cold, how to fund affordable housing. Money comes up a lot in the discussion. At the work group, we try to explain that solving these problems is not always about money. We are trying to encourage local governments and nonprofits to think outside the box. We explained that our model of housing, tiny homes, only costs around $1,200 a month to operate. And keep in mind that half of that cost is the porta potties. Because we don't have sewer, we have porta potties, and we empty gray water. So half of that $1,200 is just the porta potties. The price would be lower if we actually had sewer. And we explained that our model is by far the best bang for buck sheltering option in Bellingham and Whatcom County. We discussed that even just being allowed to lease land goes a long way towards solving this problem because the structures and infrastructure are inexpensive compared to the raw cost of the land. There are also locations that are sitting vacant, not being used for years, or spots which are not ideal for permanent development. And that's the beauty of these tiny homes. They are not on permanent foundations and can be moved around as the situation changes. Drive around anywhere. Look at how many empty spots there are. Sure, not all of them are owned by the city or local governments, but there's a lot of potential out there. We approach governments for land because they have a mandate to look after the general welfare of the community, especially in cases where it does not take up any taxpayer dollars. HomesNOW does not take government money. We are just asking for a spot to use for helping people into housing, and we'll take care of the rest. At the work group, we made it known that HomesNOW will be seeking a site to move Unity Village to. The site we are proposing for first is one of the sites that was previously a possibility through the city. The site is located at the old Clean Green location at the intersection of Woburn and Lakeway, across the street from the Bayview Cemetery, near Whatcom Falls Park. The site is on tap to eventually be used for the development of permanent affordable housing in a few years. It seems fit that in the meantime, it could be used for temporary transitional housing, such as tiny homes, until it's developed. Another advantage of this site is that it's in a visible location. People will see it when they drive by every day. Our sites are also open to the public. People will see an example in their backyard and they can support it, and it will help to change the attitude and the narrative around homelessness. When HomesNOW initially proposes a location to set up a tiny home community or tent encampment, there tends to be some pushback from the local neighborhood. This is normal because people don't exactly know what they're getting into or what will be set up in their backyard. And when they hear homeless encampment, they get a little scared, and they might be thinking of unregulated tent encampments, drugs, crime, needles on the ground, or other activities associated with unsanctioned sites. The planning department has stated that that's why our permits so far have been written in such a way that there won't be any extensions, so that the pushback from the local neighborhood would be minimal. It's the same reason given that our current site can't be extended as well. It's the idea that it won't go through unless the neighborhood knows that it's not going to get extended. But in every location that we have set up in, We've had members of the community and local neighborhood approach us and say that they were initially against the idea of a tiny home community in their neighborhood. But once they actually saw the model working in action, they became supporters. Whether we set up one of our locations or whenever we set up one of our locations, crime has also gone down in the surrounding neighborhood. Chief Dahl has stated that in some cases, crime has gone down by up to 30% in the surrounding area. I believe that was the Winter Haven site behind City Hall, but I think it's the same number for our last two sites, but I don't have confirmation on that. But I remember a figure of 30% for Winter Haven. The Clean Green site is an ideal location because it's larger than the current site and it's less noisy. The train tends to wake people up during the night at our current location. Sometimes it goes off every hour at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So yeah, it's an issue. It's not a deal breaker, but it does bother. It does bother me. It bothers some of the residents. Marcus proposed at the work group. Marcus proposed that we could add 2 villages to the site because it's a larger site. I believe more than an acre. The planning director of Bellingham, Rick Sepler, indicated that they might be open to 1, but not 2 on that same location. But also expressed that it wasn't just the city's job to work on this problem, which is true. It's not just the city's job to work on this problem. The other entities need to step up as well. We are thankful that the city has continued to work with us, though, and that we have been able to cooperate and implement some solutions. We want to maintain that relationship into the future, as well as seek out other avenues of expansion, perhaps land through a private owner or through another governing body such as the port or the county. We also explained that it's not just about HomesNOW either. We want this model to be available to any other nonprofit that wants to do something similar. This is just about helping homeless individuals to get back on their feet and get on with their lives. Anybody can do it, not just HomesNOW. If you would like a link to the audio recording and meeting packet for the work group, and you have some time to burn, here is a link in the description of the video to that information for you to review. The Homeless Strategies Work Group also meets every 2 weeks, and it's open to the general public. So if you have something to say or contribute, or you want to be there just to show support, then that is also able to be done. Number 4, we really need you at the Bellingham City Council meeting tomorrow, November 18th, 2019 at 7 p.m. We need anybody who can make it. We at this city council meeting, we plan to formally propose the Clean Green site. The council and the administration need to hear your thoughts about wanting Unity Village to continue, as well as the idea of an expansion with future sites. While permitting any future site would be handled by the executive branch of Bellingham, in other words, the mayor and the planning department. If the city council voices their support for the program in general, it would still make an impact on policy regardless. Some residents have agreed to speak about their experience at Unity Village and share their thoughts and ideas about the program and what they think about it. We need our local government to see that there is strong support for this program and that the community wants it to continue. We have a new mayor coming in soon, Seth Fleetwood. Seth has previously voiced support for an extension on our current site, and we are hoping that he will be supportive as well of allowing us to reside on the former Clean Green site next. The fact of the matter is that the HomesNOW model and Unity Village represents the lowest cost, highest standard, and most bang for buck sheltering option in Bellingham and Whatcom County. If Unity Village can't continue at our current site or can't be moved to another site in April, then it would be a big shame because a successful and affordable model would be stopped before it could grow in the future and make a serious dent toward solving homelessness in Bellingham, Whatcom County, and the nation. Please make it if you can. Every voice counts. Each person has 3 minutes to speak during the regular public comment period. The more the merrier. So please make it if you can. This is not all of them are as important. This one's one of the more important ones. Here's a link to the event, and it's in the description of the video. Donations. Number 5, donations. Winter outreach is in full swing. We are prepared to go out there immediately as soon as the temperatures drop to a dangerous level. We are also already helping those who seek our help. We need donations of warm weather gear, socks, and other supplies for dealing with the cold and the rain. During emergency weather events and generally during cold months of winter, HomesNOW will support and be part of community efforts to transport homeless individuals to emergency shelters or the hospital as needed, and will provide donations of gear, tents, sleeping bags, and for those out in the cold. Having a tiny home community such as Unity Village is also useful for this purpose because it acts as a hub for the general public to know where to bring donations to, at which point they can be fairly distributed to those in need. It's always important to think outside the box and figure out ways to help while using existing resources for other purposes. Using this methodology is how it's able to be done so affordably compared to other models. HomesNOW is also in need financially, or we're in need of financial donations. We plan to do some more serious fundraising soon. While we are doing okay and we can maintain stable operations, it's a little close for comfort in case of an unexpected purchase or maintenance, or if an unexpected maintenance problem pops up. We are raising money in order to buy land or at least generate enough for a big down payment. There are multiple ways to donate. Monthly donations help us out a lot because we are able to rely on a source of income and budget appropriately on a regular basis without having to rely on random donations, even though those are always nice too. Whether it's $1 or $1,000, it all adds up and helps us a lot to maintain current operations smoothly, as well as for allowing us to do more, setting up future sites, building additional tiny homes, etc. HomesNOW does not take any government money at all, and so we rely on you to keep us afloat financially. To all of our supporters who have donated to us over the years, thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you. With our improved fiscal oversight, we are hoping to maintain your trust and confidence in donating to us now and into the future. There are multiple ways to donate. I've included a link to our donation page on our website. Sometimes sometimes it's not even about money. Sometimes it's donating your time if you have a skill set that is needed. We also have. I also included a link to our PayPal donation link as well as our Patreon. PayPal can be used for monthly donations or one-time donations. Patreon is for monthly donations. Have a great day. See you at the City Council meeting tomorrow, and good luck.